Once a year in the fall, 300 of the world's best riders converge on a spot somewhere to do battle. They are the end product of thousands of riders over the year who have tried to make it to this event. Selected by their cycle federation to represent their country in this Olympic-type event, they are the finest off-road riders in the world and enter the 6 days to prove their and their team's worth. This is the International 6 Days Trial, the Olympics of cycling. Watch and listen as we show you two 6-day events blended into one, Italy in 1974 and the 50th golden anniversary on the Isle of Man in 1975. This is the 6 days in sight and sound. The 49th venue for the ISDT is the ancient fortress city of Camerino. Built on a mountain, the city offers a spectacular view of the rugged countryside that will test the competitors' skills to the utmost. The U.S. Penton riders, as do most of the competitors, arrive 1 week early in Camerino to acclimate themselves and to properly prepare their cycles for the upcoming 6-day events. The U.S. trophy team, which consists of 6 riders and is the country's premier national team, is made up of Tom and Jack Penton, Carl Crank, Dane Leimbach, Paul Danek, and Joe Barker. This is the 4th year Penton Cycles have been the U.S. trophy team. They have a tough job cut out for themselves against the formidable Czechoslovakian juggernaut, whose domination of the last 4 ISDT events make them the heavy favorites. Also, the fast Italian riders on home soil and the highly skilled West Germans only make winning the trophy team competition that much more difficult. Going through the formalities of 6 days is a skill in itself. 2 days before the event starts, all machines must be inspected. Cylinders are sealed. Certain parts are marked that cannot be changed during the event, and the cycles are noise tested and must register below a certain decibel. After the cycle is thoroughly gone over by the tech inspectors, it is then placed in the paddock and cannot be taken or worked on till the event starts. It's also time for the riders to go over riding schedules and routes, team strategy, and get the pit crews organized. It's also time to go over rules and regulations for the event and special tests. Opening ceremonies are held Sunday evening, and the presentation of the competing riders and countries is made. It's now just a matter of morning coming, and the Olympics of cycling to get underway. At 6:45, the first riders enter the paddock to claim their cycles. They have 15 minutes to work on them, and then at 7 o'clock, the first riders will leave 3 on a number at 1-minute intervals. He must be at the start line and get his cycle started within 1 minute, or start accumulating penalty marks, which can really affect scores before the event is underway. There are 9 capacity classes in the ISDT: 50, 75, 100, 125, 175, 250, 350, 500, and 1000 cc. All competitors are after the coveted individual gold medal. A gold medal is awarded to the competitor that loses no route marks by being late at known time checks and is within 25% of the top scores in his class in the special test events. A silver medal is won by losing less than 5 time marks, and a bronze medal is awarded for completing the trials and keeping within the 1-hour time limit at checks. 85% of the six-day rider's time is spent on the trail. Every day for 6 days, from 150 to 200 miles of trail is covered. The Italian trail proved extremely difficult. You were either going up or coming down over mountains that were loose rock from top to bottom. The mountainous terrain proved to be a tremendous disadvantage for the small capacity classes. The extremely long uphills let only a few select riders on small cycles keep on time for gold medals. Type of trail you could not make a mistake on, and your concentration had to always be there. If not, one fall on the rocks could put you out with injuries or damage your cycle beyond repair. Many riders were to find out as their strength wore out as the days wore on. The cycles used for a long, grueling event like the 6 days are very special. Cycles like the Zundaps and Jawas are all factory works equipment, not available to anyone but factory riders. The Penton cycles the U.S. team is using are production cycles, manufactured for competition such as 6 days, but are available to the individual competitor. That's why the Penton KTM cycles are the most popular cycle in the 6 days now. A privateer or national team can be very, very competitive on the Penton and can compete on even terms with the factory works machines. Without a doubt, the 6 days has meant more in the development of Penton cycles than any other type of event. A modern 6 days machine not only has to be super reliable, but able to compete in the special tests every day that include acceleration, motocross, and cross-country speed tests. A machine must be light, nimble, and powerful, yet be built like a tank. Let's look at the developments just in the past few years. Powerful engines set off most machines. Most 6-day engines aren't of the trials variety, but of the motocross variety, very fast and powerful. This is all put through 6-speed gearboxes. Only 4 years ago, everything was 4-speed, except for some lightweight machines. Suspension is advanced, where the cycles now are getting 9 inches or more on the front and rear wheel with special forks like Marzocchi and Ceriani. Exotic metals and alloys, such as magnesium, chrome moly steels, and aluminum alloys, are employed for lightness and strength. Most of the machines have solid-state ignitions, which offer trouble-free service. From one end of the cycle to the other, everything is very special and designed for a purpose. The only break the competitors got in the tough Italian 6 days was the weather. Every day for 6 days, the sun was shining bright, and the temperature was near perfect for riding. Without the mud, water, and adverse weather conditions, most cycles did not wear as they would in those type conditions. However, wheels and suspensions did take a terrific beating. One of the special tests every day, along with a cross-country speed test, is the acceleration test. The competitor must accelerate the approximate 1/4 mile as fast as possible. His time is then multiplied 3 times and added on to his special test scores. Going through the test 3 seconds slower then turns into 9 points added on your score. That starts hurting when it's added to cross-country special test time. As the rider accelerates through the test, he is also sound tested, and penalty points are added to his time for being over a certain decibel limit. The only break a competitor gets all day long is the fuel and time checks, and that is only if he is early. He must fuel his body and his cycle, and must attend to his cycle's needs, which are most important. Loose nuts or spokes, broken or wearing parts must be fixed with utmost concern, or the cycle will never make it to the finish line. Most competitors have about 15 to 20 items that they check over at every fuel or time check. Unauthorized spares and use of outside assistance is against the rules of 6 days, and a competitor can be disqualified for receiving help or spare parts or tools from pit crews or along the route. Every rider is given a schedule each day of the time he is due at time checks. It is the rider's responsibility to arrive at the check on time and go through on his designated minute. If he leaves early, he is penalized bonus points. A rider has 3 minutes to go through the check when his time comes due, or he will lose 1 time mark for each minute late. Lose 1 time mark, and you lose your gold medal. That's why competitors must be sure their cycles are always trouble-free, as problems on the trail could result in losing time and arriving at the next check late. After the punishment of the Italian countryside, the competitors who made the entire 6 days must compete one more time in the massed motocross special test. Some years, the last event of the ISDT is a road race or grass track race. In Italy, it is the Italian 500cc Grand Prix course. Each class is run and timed individually, and a competitor must complete the required number of laps or lose his gold medal. If it's a close fight for team or top individual honors, it is a real race to put time on your competition. It was anticlimactic in the trophy team competition, however, as the 4 times world champion Czechoslovakians were the only trophy team not to lose time marks. They had already assured themselves of their 5th straight world championship. They also clinched the 4-man National Vaz team honors for the 4th time in 5 years. Penton-mounted U.S. trophy team finished all 6 riders, but the 3 smaller capacity Pentons lost time marks on the tough Italian hills. The 3 large capacity Pentons all collected gold medals. Once more, Penton KTM Cycles collected more medals than any other brand at the 49th ISDT. The 49th ISDT is now in the record books, and the most exciting 50th ISDT coming up.